Hi, everybody. This is Dan Stolebarger. Welcome to this week's Middle East update. And be sure to go right away to our website at holygroundexplorations.com. Scroll down on the right hand side, you'll see an icon for this KFIR Middle East update. By clicking that, you will be able to access the PDF PowerPoint that comes along with this presentation. Very important that you see the pictures that go along with these articles. And once again, a reminder that all of our material really is coming through the voice and the lenses of Israel. So with that, we always like to start off with just sort of the issues of the week. As you know, the United Nations are meeting together. Obama, Netanyahu, uh, big stage right now. 88 out of the 100 U.S. senators have signed a letter to President Obama demanding that he continue to ensure the automatic American veto against anti-Israel and unilateral actions by the United Nations Security Council. Interesting, a couple of those that didn't sign are even more on the hawkish side, so it's more like over 90 of the 100. Now, according to Obama, um, there's a lot of pundits that are unsure of what his end game actually is. Obama went on record just yesterday saying that Israel is occupying and settling Palestinian land. He addressed the UN and he said that the Palestinians must end the incitement and recognize Israel, but Israel has to end the occupation. Interesting term, Palestinian land. Now, Mid-East experts, many in Washington, are concerned that Obama really doesn't have Israel's back or will not after the November elections, that there's still something yet to come. So we'll have to stay tuned to all of that. We've got another article about that we'll cover in just a second. You may or may not know that the high holy days are coming up in Israel. Rosh Hashanah, followed by the 10 days of awe, ending with Yom Kippur, and then the fall festival of the Feast of Tabernacles. Well, usually during this time, waves of terrorism kind of spring up. And with what's going on in Israel, the Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas basically has said that this wave of terrorism is really just a sign of lost hope, while Hamas, on the other hand, has kind of come out with the claim that our people are carrying knives of their own accord because they belong to a people of resistance. This has nothing to do with despair. In other words, prepare for the revolution. Well, as I mentioned, Obama and Bibi in New York City, the two leaders, they've been at odds for years over the nuclear agreement with Iran. And so all eyes are kind of waiting to see what's going to transpire. As we said, Obama has made it clear that he's going to press Israel in terms of reconciliation with the Palestinians, by signing the $83 billion defense. He believes that he's demonstrated his commitment to Israel's security. And now it's time for Israel to kind of give back. And so, again, that part of Obama's legacy that is missing is that he has failed miserably when it comes to this so-called two-state solution. Now, keep in mind that these two men will be meeting this week, and in the last 10 months, these leaders have not met nor even spoken by phone. So again, we'll have to wait and see what comes out of that. We've spoken in recent weeks about the situation in the Golan, with Turkey getting involved in Syria, and then just the cast of characters. We've got Russia, we've got the Iranians, we've got the Turks, we've got Syria, we've got ISIS, we've got Al Qaeda, we've got Hezbollah. Well, the Iron Dome last week, for the first time, intercepted 2 projectiles that were fired from Syria into the Israeli Golan Heights area. This happened on Saturday. There were no injuries or damage that was reported in these incidents. And Israel radio reported that the IDF did say that both of these projectiles that were shot down would not have landed on the Israeli side of the border. But again, too close for comfort, and Israel will not accept the fact that that sort of oops factor. Now, after all that's transpired, it's interesting that Russia has, there's been some incidents where Israel has attacked Assad's regime's military positions in response to these projectiles that were fired from Syria. Some have exploded inside of Israel. Well, Russia has called on Israel to show restraint, but has also allegedly given Syria permission to shoot down any Israeli jets that cross into its territory. So once again, things are sort of heating up when it comes to that. And then just the reality of preparations. The IDF estimates that Israel's enemies have some, listen up, has some 230,000 missiles trained on its borders. Now, the IDF believes that their air defenses could successfully counter 95% of this potential threat, but the next war could see as many as 1,500 rockets and missiles fired daily. And again, all of this is beginning to surface as Israel makes these sort of preparations because of everything that's on the horizon. Now, the military does believe that even though there's so many, that 95% of these projectiles by terrorist groups would be sort of the short-range rockets, and that given Israel's advanced air defenses, only about 1% would actually hit residential areas. High alert, keep your eyes open. As we said before, when it comes to the end of days, it's going to be about Israel. And as we see the nations surrounding Israel, we need to look up for our redemption draws nigh, right? We know that God is not finished with Israel, and when it's all said and done, he will work through Israel once the church is no more, in a good sense, raptured. Well, we'll wrap this up. The short article on chemical weapons that have been discovered inside of Syria. No big surprise there. You can see that on your own. An amazing discovery. Archaeologists digging in Jerusalem have found a rare gold coin bearing the portrait of a young Roman Emperor Nero. Check that out. The coin was found outside of the rubble of Jewish homes in Jerusalem itself. So again, check out the photos of all of that. We also include gleanings from the Torah portion this week, as well as quotable quotes. I'd like to end with reading the quotable quote for this week by Stephen Shamrock. Quote, "Bombs are exploding in New York, New Jersey, a stabbing in Minnesota Mall, and no one can connect the dots. Honestly, it saddens me that my fellow Americans will have to learn the hard way that they are at war with the same enemies the Jews in Israel have been fighting. My condolences. The government and so-called free press do not want us to connect the dots. If you can't name your enemies, You cannot effectively fight war that they wage against you. Something to think about. Well, with that, we head off to Israel tomorrow. We'll be there over the next 2 weeks. Our next reports will be coming from Israel. We appreciate you remembering us in your prayers. And God bless you all. And once again, pray for the peace of Jerusalem.